Hey, I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides, and welcome to this sort of one-off video from my visit here to the Midwest in the USA. I grew up in this area. I'm here visiting family, and we are at one of the most popular destinations in this area for the summer. It's called Wisconsin Dells, and Wisconsin Dells is actually a city, and it includes several attractions. And it started as just sort of a few little water parks here and there, and then some sort of roadside attractions, and it has become a gigantic destination area, and especially for people who love water parks, any kind of wet activity like water slides, water skiing, swimming in lakes, tubing down rivers and stuff like this. Wisconsin Dells is the place to do it. And then there's also roller coasters, mini golf, escape rooms, theater shows, all kinds of stuff like that. We are staying here in a 3-bedroom golf course villa at the Wilderness Resort. It's called the Wilderness Resort. I'm pretty sure the website is wildernessresort.com. And I just wanted to show you around a little bit the accommodations we have here to let you know what you expect if you might be planning a trip to Wisconsin Dells. If you live anywhere in the Midwest, the upper Midwest, I'm sure you've probably been here, or if you haven't, you've heard of it. So if you want to stay in a 3-bedroom villa, if you're looking for a little bit more space, this is what you get. Just warning before we go inside, as always in these videos nowadays, we've lived in it for a while because I think it's better to do these room tours after I know what it's like to stay at the place, because otherwise all I can show you is what you see on the website. So the beds are not made, there's stuff, I mean, we've moved out already, but this is lived in. The first impression when we go in the front door is quite a nice one. Look at this. This is our pretty full kitchen. It's got a stove, a microwave. There's, I think, a waffle maker up here, and full-size refrigerator, dishwasher, coffee maker, and toaster. I always feel silly just mentioning everything I'm showing in these videos as if you can't see what's on the screen, but I don't know how else to do it. So let me continue naming everything I'm showing you. This place can sleep up to 10, and there's a breakfast bar here with 4 chairs, so we kind of had, this was kind of like the hangout when we would get back at night and have snacks and stuff like that. And you can see there is there's a pull-out sofa there that becomes a bed, and a beautiful deck outside. But before we go out there, I will show you the first of a doubly approved Morgan bathroom door, or doubly Morgan approved bathroom door, because there is a door that closes to this area and then a door that closes to that area, which is where the crapper is. And speaking of crapper, the housekeeping is going to get a nasty surprise when they come in here, because that toilet does not flush correctly. We mentioned it when we checked in 2 days ago. They said they came and fixed it, but
it ain't fixed.
And I have to leave a note on it. I want to let them know, because it's not their fault that the toilet doesn't work, but I want to let them know that I'm sorry for what they're about to witness. All right, just to help you get your bearings, that's where we came in. There's the bathroom with the broken toilet. On this side, there is a room with bunk beds, and on this side, there's a room with, I think, a queen bed. That's where I slept. We're gonna go to see the bunk beds first. This is a great room for kids because it's sort of like in the back, and you can close the door if they go to bed early, and if they're gonna be sleeping late. And look at how thick those mattresses are. There's also a small dresser here, and a window. Like I said, just mentioning everything you see. Let's go check out the other room. Like I said, this is the room I slept in, and the bed's not made because we're checking out. I just kind of threw the blankets up on top there. It was very comfortable, and it also has its own deck access. By the way, there's an amazing grill out there that we did not use. This room has its own television as well. I didn't turn it on, but I assume it works. And then some drawers as well. I think these are great for long-term stays, if you're gonna do a whole week or something. However, the price is, not for everybody. The living room has this beautiful gas fireplace, which is also open to the outside. You see what I mean? So it's if you're sitting out on the deck, you can have a fire on the deck too. we didn't do that, but you could. Across from the fireplace, next to the kitchen, you'll see there's a stairway going up there. And this moment totally reminds me of the suite that Marcus and I had on the Mein Schiff with the big patio upstairs, but I'll show you what's up there. And it is behind that window. Let's go. There's a cool loft up here. Oh, and look, my nephew made his bed. Isn't that nice? He's a camp counselor at the moment, so I think he's kind of in the rhythm of doing that. This is also a cool little area with its own television, a relatively big chest of drawers over there, and that's the window looking down over the living room. As you can see, there's that really cool looking chandelier down there. And yeah, I mean, so if you're gonna be sleeping up here, it's not completely private. There's no door you can close, but it's still just a nice extra space to have. There's the master bedroom I still wanna show you, and then we're gonna go out on the deck and I'll tell you about some of the negative experiences we had staying here, but I'm gonna do all that right after this short commercial break. Did you get one? What was it about? Write it in the comments below. Back to the tour. That's the kitchen. That's where the bunk beds are. That's the bathroom with the toilet that's not working. That goes upstairs, and this is the master bedroom. You can see it has a king size bed and it has its own like deck access, but that's not a private deck. That deck goes along the whole side of the, the cabin. And I'll show you the view out there. It's quite nice. We didn't use this table at all. In fact, we didn't go outside at all because at the times we would go outside, it was either night or raining. There's also a small television in here, and it has its own bathroom, of course. So let's check that out. Double sinks and shower and bathtub. Let me see if I can show you there. That's the shower and bathtub. And also doubly approved Morgan door because this door closes all the way, and then the crapper is right there. As mentioned, let's go check out the deck here. There's one of the other units up there, and you can see our grill here. I don't know anything about grills, but that certainly looks fancy. For my grill fanatics, let me know. Is this a desirable grill? It's much better than the grill I have at home because I don't have one at home. Ooh. That's me. And that was the bedroom I slept in, and here's the other side of the fireplace. Geez, I wish we had thought of that last night. That would have been nice. And then down there, that's a table in front of the master bedroom. So like I said, if you're planning a trip to the Dells and you need a little extra space or want a little extra space, something like this is great. This is, I think, maybe the third or fourth time we've stayed with Wilderness Lodge, so that means it can't all be awful. But that doesn't mean that we haven't experienced, you know, certain problems and snafus, which can always happen. These villas here are all privately owned. I guess they're kind of like vacation rentals in a way. So I think, if I understand it correctly, most of these are owned by private families, and then they're rented out through the Wilderness Service, and they're also timeshares here. I know that because when we were checking in, we were approached 2 or 3 times by people who wanted to give us our welcome packet, offer us free meals, and all that timeshare kind of stuff. No hate on the people doing that job, but I just want to let people know it happens here when you're checking in. And so on the website, it does say there's no daily housekeeping. You check in, and the cabin is supposed to be full of towels and all the kitchen stuff you need and soap and stuff like that. And then that's what you get for your stay, and everything else you sort of have to provide yourself. We knew that checking in. However, the cabin was just not really clean. I was gonna say campers. Some of the campers before us had obviously cooked something on the stove, and it was not really clean. It was cleaner than my house is, just to be fair about it, but it was not as clean as you would hope it would be for like a hotel room that you're paying over $700 a night for. So we did mention that, and a couple other like cosmetic issues like dirty curtains, the toilet that doesn't flush, and things like that to the front desk, and they were very accommodating, took a chunk of the bill off, so that was very nice. But just, you know, as I always say, I try to tell you the truth about everything. And even though this place is very cozy, very quaint, we enjoyed staying here, just even though it cost over $700 a night, it still was not perfect. And the more I travel and the more places I visit, the more I learned that if you're expecting perfect, you're probably gonna be disappointed every single time, even if you're staying in like a $90 hotel room or a $700 hotel room. So, you know, don't expect perfect. And if you get to some place like this and you realize there's something that's not up to your standard, then I guess you kind of always have to decide, all right, is this something I can just accept and move on from and just look past it as a mistake or whatever? Or is this something that's so disturbing that I need to take time out of the fun I want to have here to deal with the issue? So that's up to you. You know, when you get to wherever you're going, if there's something not going quite right, decide, is the effort it's going to take to rectify this worth the time it's going to take to accomplish that? You know what I mean?
I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guide.
We are leaving here in just about an hour or so. So everybody is in the water park and I'm back here with one kid who is not feeling so well today. Where did she go? If you're planning a trip to the Dells, let me know in the comments below. I might be able to help you. We spent a lot of time in the water parks here at the Wilderness Resort. We also went to Mount Olympus and rode
everything
there was to ride there. I think we all have bruises and headaches today because of it. See you soon. That goes up to the loft, and now we're gonna check out the master bedroom. I can't do it.